Hi, we're going to look today at a couple of salient points to remember about the deadlift. This is not to help you learn it, it's just refreshers. So this will apply whether we're looking at kettlebell stance where it's in front of us, whether we've got a conventional stance with which bells or dumbbells, could be like a suitcase style, whether we're looking at sumo. Just sumo that you're going to have a slightly more upright torso is the big difference, and a bit more of that inner thigh adductor involvement. No matter what, we want the center of mass to be close to our own body center of mass, which is just over the arch of the foot. So we're really approaching our load. We're not starting from back here. Get the full foot centered. We think of a tripod foot rooting down, screwing down. Shins stay relatively vertical, hips go back. We don't want to have the hips too high, definitely not above the chest, but we don't want them too low either, because then the knees start to travel forward, right? So we're rooted down in there. We've got our grip on whether it's here or here, wherever we're gripping. Now we want to screw in the humerus, the upper arm bone, into the socket. So you can think of 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock with your arms as a very nice cue. We want to have a nice neutral spine. We do not want rounding most of the time, hardly ever. Can't think of a reason why you're going to round your back unless you've got a seriously awkward load, in which case you've got to seriously lock in, or you're a strongman and you're doing Atlas stones. Otherwise, we want as neutral of a spine as possible. So we want the core working to keep the spine neutral, and by that I mean your regular curves, right? So if we've got a dowel, low back, back of the shoulder, back of the head, whatever we get standing up, that usually instructs us where we should be at an angle. So we want the core working to keep the spine neutral, and then the glutes are going to drive our hip hinge. So again, we're screwed in the feet, we've got our lats on, we've got our spine in a good position, we've got our hips back. We are going to start with a little exhale and contract up the pelvic floor. So that's setting the abs, we're pulling up the pelvic floor. After that, we're going to do a diaphragmatic inhale, brace very low in the lungs to come up to standing. You can either exhale at the top and re-inhale and back down, or there are actually a bunch of ways to deal with the whole breathing thing. The really important thing is whenever that weight is down, when your back is in a potentially compromised position, you've got to have air inside of you until the weight is back down on the ground. I hope all that made sense. Again, it's just a couple of key points to remember, not a teaching tool necessarily. And I look forward to hearing back from you to see how all this is clicking for you.